Good evening. As we start our long weekend for Thanksgiving, I'd like to give a few Brockton updates as well as giving thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank the workers in our agricultural community. I'd like to express my admiration for the families who work in our agricultural sector, the farmers, the suppliers, truckers, processors. Agriculture is the #1 industry in Brockton. In fact, Brockton leads all other municipalities in Grey and Bruce on agricultural receipts. So agriculture is #1. Despite the uncertain outlook in the spring, our farmers pushed ahead and planted and produced food for the entire country. Thank you, and thank God for a great growing season for our farmers. This weekend marks the commencement of both of our high schools, Walkerton District and Sacred Heart. I'd like to congratulate all of our educators and all workers in the education sector for the hard work they've done in getting the grads to that point and putting on our commencement. And I'd like to express our thanks to both schools. It's great that we have 2 high schools in Walkerton. So thank you very much for your work and congratulations to our grads. Brockton continues to experience strong growth. We have many new stores downtown. Housing starts are at a record level, and there are 2 new subdivisions planned for the East Hill that are in the planning stages. So we have a tremendous amount of growth. At our next council meeting, council will also be looking at 2 applications for zoning amendments for 2 marijuana production facilities, and those will bring jobs to the area. Amid the good news, the provincial emergency leaves all of us very uncertain about what lies ahead. Bruce County is fortunate to be in a very good situation with COVID. The Toronto Star highlighted how successful Bruce County was at fighting COVID-19 and keeping things at bay. To ensure future success, though, we need to ensure to continue to follow safety measures of the past 6 months. If you experience symptoms, go to either the Hanover or Kincardine testing centers. The long lineups at the assessment centers that occurred last month are gone. Many of you contacted me about the lineups, and I expressed those concerns to Dr. Era and Minister Lisa Thompson. I'd like to thank both Lisa and Dr. Era for working very hard to extend the hours at the testing center and get rid of those lineups, as well as the hospital staff. So thank you very much for that. The province is taking a regional approach to COVID. Today, it was announced that hotspots of Toronto, Peel Region, and Ottawa are returning to stage 2. So that's very discouraging for those areas. However, we have very strong numbers epidemiology-wise, and we are staying at stage 3. So that's excellent news. Our low COVID numbers ensure that the Medical Officer of Health can track down cases and stop COVID in its tracks. Bruce County has the distinction of not having a single outbreak in a workplace spread due to our excellent contact tracing by our Medical Officer of Health. The Health Unit has released advice on Thanksgiving weekend, and it can be found on their website. If you are gathering this weekend, take appropriate safety measures. The provincial law on gatherings at households states 10 people inside, 25 people outside. The key safety measure expressed by the Medical Officer of Health is to stay 6 feet apart. This Thanksgiving is an exceptional one. We have just lived through the toughest of times. We are still fighting. Let us pause to give thanks to our agricultural workers, our healthcare workers, our educators, our retail workers, and all those who have struggled during 2020. And let us count the blessings that we have in Brockton. Happy Thanksgiving.